greatest sports debate show on the internet.
I will take my victory lap now because who was the one that was saying the Buffalo Bills window is closed? Oh yeah, that's right. It was me.
Championship rings. Starring Brandon Lewis.
Wait a minute, who's the one that didn't see Brandon Cooks clearly has the ball in his hand, goes down to the ground with one knee on the ground, and then nothing they say, it's an interception!
Honestly, I'd rather watch AHL All-Star stuff than the NBA All-Star game.
After some technical difficulties tonight, we are finally starting a little bit late tonight. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, terminal ages. No, that is not Josh Ungar next to me on the screen tonight. This is friend of the show, Jalen Sandvick. Josh Ungar is actually currently 5 hours ahead of us, Jalen, in Germany for the next 2 weeks. So, Josh, we hope you're enjoying your time vacationing in a great country known as Germany. But Jalen, you're here to hold down the fort because we got a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, Sweet 16 games tonight. The Tribe plays tonight. I want to talk about that too. Why are we playing at 10-10? Listen. I'm a college kid, right? Listen, I could stay up late. But if I don't have to, I don't want to. And listen, what was the harm in playing at 1 o'clock? So it would be 4 o'clock in Seattle. I don't understand that. But, you know, it's opening day. We're here. And I'm excited to be here, Josh. I'm coming for your job, buddy. I'm kidding. I can never do it like the great Josh Ungar. But I'm ready. I can try my best.
We're going to start off by talking about March Madness tonight because the sentiment over the first 4 days of the NCAA tournament was, oh, no mid-majors are allowed. There's going to be no Cinderellas. And it really feels like the tournament's just all for blue bloods. And I disagreed with that. I think Iowa upsetting Florida was a great moment. Thursday, we had fantastic games featuring Siena, Duke, High Point upsetting Wisconsin. Sure, maybe we didn't get a 13, 14, 15, 16 seed for sure upset, but we got a lot of good games, and Cinderella may not be what it used to be. And we're going to go over our brackets here in a second, Jalen, but I still found the tournament absolutely fascinating to watch.
Please don't make me go over my bracket. I don't want to be sad. I'm okay.
By the way, Josh said he's tuning in right now. He's currently in France, and that Jalen, you cannot take his job.
Hey, man, listen. I might be inconsistent when you guys ask me to come on here because my life's absolutely insane. But listen, when we're all three here, which Josh, get back from Germany. Let me hop on.
In France right now, actually.
Oh, you're chilling we'll get back from France. Listen, we got some business to take care of. We got some UFC to talk. We got things to talk. So get your butt back from France and let's I heard he's there for a month. Is that true?
He's gonna be out for the next 2 weeks.
Man, Josh is leaving all of us behind, man. All of us.
All right,
it's okay.
Get back to the madness, my friend.
Get back to the madness now. Yes, there are no 14, 15, 16, but if you haven't been enjoying this tournament, you don't like basketball, and that is quite simple. And listen, excuse me. To me, March isn't about the upsets. It's about the game. It's about the 40 minutes of fast-paced action, the defense that is actually being played, the white boy who's got class on Monday for accounting but drains 17 threes to come back down 25 to make it a 4-point game with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, that's what it's about. The way VCU did against North Carolina.
Exactly.
And me and Josh talked about this last week. So in the first round, Jalen, I only technically had 3 upsets. I had South Florida, which did not hit against Louisville. I had Utah State over Villanova, which did hit. And then I also had where's the other 9-8 that I had? I believe it was, hold on. I had I had Iowa over Clemson, which also hit. So those were my only 3 upsets. And I said that I think the tournament's going to be filled more with blue bloods now. I think NIL has actually helped the tournament. It's been an epic tournament, in my opinion. It's been a crazy amount of great games. Had there been more blowouts than we had gotten in tournaments past? Absolutely, yes, that's true. I think in the last 10 tournaments, we had 20 blowouts before NIL. And in the last 5 years with NIL, we've had 25 blowouts. So you're getting more blowouts, but the benefit of it is, look at this Sweet 16. Duke and St. John's, Michigan State and UConn, Iowa, Nebraska, Big Ten matchup, Illinois and Houston, Arizona, Arkansas, Purdue against Miami, Michigan against Alabama, Tennessee against Iowa State. Like, those are 8 fantastic basketball games.
I don't mean to cut you off, but if any of my lovely family gets sent this through TikTok, because somehow they find my TikTok clips or they find the show. Guys, I love you, and I know tomorrow I have a graduation party. Shout out my cousin for graduating early. That is awesome. But if you think I'm not going to be a little disconnected from the family watching March Madness in the living room, you got it all wrong. Listen, I love you all, but Duke and St. John's play, and I'm just making it known. I'm just making it known. I love you all, but listen, we got March.
And by the way, thank you, Josh, for correcting me. Apparently, I said that Purdue was playing Miami. They're actually playing Texas, who, of course, is the 111 seed in this tournament that did pull off an upset. My one big upset in the whole bracket was St. John's over Duke in the Sweet 16, so I hope that hits. My Final Four is all still intact. I had UConn, Houston, Arizona, and Michigan.
I am down one of my Final Four in one of my brackets with Virginia, which I don't even want to talk about that game. Excuse me. I don't even want to speak on that game. And Gonzaga in my other bracket. So I think I'm doing all right. You know, I could be doing a lot worse.
What's your whole take on brackets since you run at the multiple brackets? So I have always been you have a main bracket, and then, like, if you want to do like a screw off bracket, sure. But I only really count my main bracket. Now this year I have another bracket which is actually doing better than my main bracket. I don't know if I told you this or not. It is the AI Chat GPT bracket, which where I basically went in and I gave Chat GPT some prompts and I told it to pick every game of this tournament. And right now, the only teams that they have eliminated in that bracket are Kansas, Florida, which hurt because it had Florida in the Final Four, BYU, Wisconsin, and Gonzaga. That's it. So 5 teams. I mean, I know you can't see it because of the virtual background, but I have blue markings on the teams that are wrong on this bracket. There's a lot of pens still on this bracket.
I usually do 2 brackets every year. I do the CBS one, and then I'll do the March Madness app one, if you know what that is. And usually I'll make my March Madness app the bust one, like my I call it my Cinderella, and I have Purdue. I know Purdue's still a number 1, but like no, not a lot of people are picking Purdue, and majority of them are upsets. And it's not looking too hot for me. It's not looking too hot for my Cinderella bracket. However,
listen, I just think we need to temper our expectations for Cinderella. Like, would it be awesome if Siena would have upset Duke and you know, Wright's who did Wright State play in the first round? Was it Virginia? I'm trying to pull it up here real quick. Wright State did play Virginia in the first round. So, like, if Wright State would have pulled out that upset, or Siena would have beat Duke, would it have been insane madness? Yes. But my argument is the best part about March Madness is when you almost get that upset, but the favorite still wins.
The Vanderbilt game was the best game I've watched.
That was incredible. I mean, the shot. I mean, how close can you be, Jalen? You're a big basketball guy. The ball is literally in the freaking net.
It literally, to put it in funnier terms, it literally did everything with the girl except for make out with her. Literally
Jesus,
everything.
We're going there.
It took her out. It bought her. It literally did everything it had to do. And I had Vandy winning that game, and it didn't happen.
Let me ask you this, because I've had this sentiment from watching the first 4 games. And by the way, to steal a line from our friend Josh Ungar, tonight I'm going to find my favorite spot on the couch as soon as we're done with this show. And I'm watching all of the March Madness games, and the Dodgers are also on tonight, and the Guardians are on tonight. It's going to be a great night of sports.
This is I don't mean to cut you off, but this is, to me, there is one time a year that, or twice a year, you love to be a sports fan. Hear me out. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. We have, when football's a week away, like the kickoff to the football season, college football and professional, and we have March to June. Hear me out, because you have, boom, mid-March, March Madness, baseball. Then you take a break from the hectic sports and you go to Augusta. You start playing some golf. This is perfect. You got playoff basketball right around the corner. It's starting to hit that 60 to 70 degree range, even though here in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, doesn't always happen like that. But you get what I'm saying. This is perfect.
And then you get the NFL draft, and you get all this other stuff. And of course, if you're a big wrestling fan, WrestleMania is running that period.
Absolutely.
I would also argue, though, Jalen, I disagree with you on your first point, which was the right before football season. I think that period that starts with October through like the end of the year, because you got to have the MLB playoffs, which I think are the best playoff in all of sports, personally. I love the MLB playoffs. You got the MLB playoffs, the NFL season's in full swing. You've got the college football playoff now with the expansion. You've got the NBA season starting, as Josh pointed out, the NHL season starting, along with the NHL playoffs in the spring. So, there's always this argument of which time is better. I used to be on the camp of the fall was better, but I think the tournament's been better, and I'm starting to think that this time period is a little bit better than the fall.
Do you? I know this is a little off topic. Do you watch the Masters?
I have never watched one swing of golf that has not involved Tiger Woods in my entire life.
Well, you better start watching, pal, because guess who's playing this year? You better get down to, as the great Ray Charles would say, Georgia. That beautiful, beautiful music filling my ears.
Sounds like a Trump impression to me.
That beautiful music filling my ears. I love the Masters. Tiger's a great guy.
Oh, man.
Great guy.
All right. But before we get off this topic, so I have St. John's upsetting Duke tomorrow night. Is there an upset? Do you think that's going to happen? We already saw one number one team go down in Florida.
Oh, I don't believe that there's an upset that could happen more than St. John's. St. John's is hot. They're playing great basketball, and Duke looked shaky. Duke has not looked like Duke. I told you this. You took a shot at me right in the chest. You said Duke almost chokes every year. I said, and I quote, I almost picked Duke every year because I grew up loving Kyrie Irving and Christian Laettner. And you said, quote, they choke almost every year, and you could not be.
There's 2 years of Duke I'll never forget. One of them was last year, the year with Cooper Flagg, when everybody and their mother bet them, including yours truly, to win the national championship, and they didn't pull through for me in the Final Four. The other year, 2019 year, when they had Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett, and they lost pretty early, I believe, to a Michigan State team, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that was. I remember last year you were pissed.
I think I did it though because that same week was the week that I think Kevin Owens went out in WWE and hurt his back and did the injury angle. So I did like a emergency podcast, basically screaming my lungs out about Duke and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it was like weird. It was like 9 p.m. and it's like Brandon's World going live, and I was like, oh boy, oh boy, this can only be good, folks.
Well, let's move to Major League Baseball. And before we preview the season order, let's talk about the WBC, Jalen, because I said this on Brandon's World a couple days ago. Brandon's World has turned into a baseball show. We don't do a ton of baseball on this show here at Championship Rings, but all I've done for the best 2 weeks while this WBC was going on was watch the WBC, and me and Josh talked about how thrilling and competitive it was. And the numbers show that on a freaking Tuesday night in March, the WBC final got a better rating than every single game besides Game 7 of last year's NBA Finals. And it beat every game of the 2023 World Series that involved the Rangers and the Diamondbacks.
Now, you know this. You know where I stand on baseball. It's third in line, right? You got your basketball, your football. But damn it, that World Baseball Classic did something to the American in me, and I sat there every single game, especially because we had nothing to watch. I'm not watching the Lakers play the Knicks at 10:30. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. I love basketball.
Says something for you as a basketball fan. And I'll tell you what else was cool. When I was talking about this with a colleague of mine who came on Brandon's World this week, it was cool to watch games that didn't involve the U.S. It was cool to watch like Japan versus the Dominican, and like Italy versus Venezuela, and to watch these other teams go at it. And even as an American, you felt invested in those games too.
Oh, absolutely, because there was nothing to watch. And yes, like you were playing for the pride of your country, but watching all these greats greats and Aaron Judge, I'll get to that later. Watching all the greats get to play on the same team. Like you got Shohei, and who else was on that team?
Yoshi Automoto was on that team.
Automoto was on that team. Like, it feels like I'm going into MLB, the video game, and making a custom roster. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was watching a simulation. Like, you know how YouTubers will do, like, what if Aaron Judge goes to the Dodgers? Like, that's what it felt like. And I enjoyed every minute of it. Although I did not enjoy the final call in the Dominican game, even though U.S. pulled it out, I'm a fair player. I'm a true sport. I know that wasn't a strike.
Could you imagine if the ABS system was implemented for the WBC?
Oh boy, yeah. But that was, you're right, and I've said it for months now, and I've said this term a lot, and Brandon's heard it the most. It was absolute cinema.
By the way, and I told you this before, I think baseball has, you said it's third in line. For me, it's starting to become second in line. Like I sat there and I watched most of the Yankees destroy the Giants once on Netflix because I thoroughly enjoyed baseball, even though the Yankees crushed them. Like, baseball is in such a good place right now. I'm just worried about the potential lockout coming at the end of this season.
Can we also talk about, I don't know if you saw earlier today, but in the Pirates home opener, they pulled Paul Skeens after throwing 39 pitches?
Yeah, because he gave up 5 runs.
Well, let's talk about this, okay? For all my Pirates fans out there, I know a couple of you. I'm not going to name drop because, you know, you don't need that. Your life already sucks. You're a Pirates fan. You can. This is directed at every Pirates fan I know that always talks shit about me being a Guards fan. That always says, "Oh, you guys spend no money." Yeah, but at least we're not pissing away Paul Skeen's career. Thanks. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, you know, did you get a chance to watch any of the Giants Yankees game last night on Netflix?
I was actually watching the Cavs get blown out by Miami. So no, I didn't.
I mean, it was weird. I don't know if you've seen the scoreboard. I can try to pull it
I
up.
did see that. I saw that this morning when I opened Twitter. Not Twitter, Instagram.
It's
My fault.
the weirdest scoreboard I've ever seen. So it felt like a lot of theater. It's going to be very interesting. They're going to get the home run derby this year. I believe they're going to get like an exclusive package in September on Labor Day, and some other things. But like baseball now, like even the Guardians, like tomorrow they're going to be on Apple TV Plus. Sunday they're going to be on Peacock. So it's a very NFL and NBA TV model now where you're going to see a lot of games on streaming.
I don't like it. I don't like it because it's literally just cable all over again.
Yeah, it feels like it. Especially I don't have Apple TV, and I'm not signing up for it just to watch the Guardians game, especially in March. So I'm not watching the game tomorrow.
Right, or you could find an illegal site somewhere that you could probably stream it off your laptop or phone. But like
now I have Peacock for different reasons. Obviously, one of them, WWE, still has their relationship with them. Another reason is because I like some of the shows on there. Ted is the greatest TV show they've ever created.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you guys are in this chat and you haven't watched, this is a sports show, but let's take a break from it. If you have not seen Ted season 1 and 2, they are better than both the movies.
I totally agree with you. It's the funniest show I ever watched. So I have Peacock for that reason. My point was, if I didn't have Peacock, I'm not signing up for it just to watch baseball. Like, I only got Netflix when WWE Raw moved there. I never had Netflix. I know you think I'm crazy. That was the one streaming service I didn't have because I don't think Netflix offers anything great. Now they got podcasts on there I like.
Netflix sucks now. I don't blame you.
So that's where I'm at with this streaming. We're like, I think for the NFL it works because like you need to watch your team. It's only one game a week, but it doesn't work for the other sports when there's multiple games a week and only one game is on streaming. Let's say.
You know what I have, and I'm probably gonna get arrested for saying this, but my dad bought us 3 boxes that are jailbroken with every single streaming service for free. We don't free of charge. It's like it's a regular channel. We have every single channel, every Peacock game, every Guards game, every Cavs game for completely free. So that is perfect. It is the greatest thing ever because I like when everyone says, "Oh, I can't watch the fight. It's on Paramount Plus," or "I can't watch the big game this week. It's on whatever." Yo, come to my house. Everybody's been coming to my house lately. I've been in the house now. We've every Netflix game, every Peacock game, every big game, everyone's at my house, and I love it. And listen, fix it. All right. I used to be able to come home from school 10 years ago, probably 7 years ago now. Wow. And I would go on DirecTV and I would scroll down to Fox Sports and I would see Indians versus the White Sox. And that was it. That was it. There was no, it's on Apple TV. It's on this, that, and the third. No, it was one channel. It was one channel. That's it.
Yeah. By the way, I still have DirecTV. I may be old school now in that nature, but we use the streaming version of it, so we don't have the boxes anymore. But it's still like the stream version.
There we go. See. It used to be. I remember the channel. I even remember the channel. I remember by heart. 660-1 was for Cavs games and Indians games. There you go.
Well, 662 was for us because we have the HD version, and 660-1 was the HD version for the Cavs. And if you remember back in the day, Bruce Drennan used to be on Sports Time Ohio. Used to listen to him every day. Those were the golden days. I don't know if you know this. He's on Big Boy Cleveland now.
Is he?
Yeah, he does a show once a week. He's been doing it for like 2 or 3 years.
Awesome. See, look how simple this is. There's probably a kid listening to this right now, like these old fucks. Like these guys are like,
we're talking about nothing that was originally on the rundown for this show. So let's let's get back on track by talking about a team that you said you don't want to watch play the Knicks at 10:30 at night because they went on a winning streak. Now they lost the other night to the Pistons. They just beat the Pacers last night. And there's all this talk about, oh, the Lakers are a real final. No, they're not. The Lakers are going to probably beat the Rockets in the first round because Kevin Durant absolutely ruined any chemistry that team had because he decided to go on burner accounts and say Sengun basically stinks. So the Lakers are probably going to beat the Rockets in the first round. Then they will match up with either OKC or San Antonio at this point because San Antonio is coming for that number 1 seed. And depending on who they match up with, they will get absolutely annihilated in the second round. And they will get exposed because they don't have any bigs. The Austin Reeves, LeBron, Luka combo does not fit all together. One of them should probably be coming off the bench, though they're all talented enough to not do so, obviously. This Lakers team is flawed. Listen, it's a fun story. Luka's playing well. LeBron is sort of fit into that third option now that Austin Reeves is taken off. But this team is nowhere close to a finals contender. Jalen, do you agree with me?
Luka, let's start there.
Okay.
You need to get divorced more often, my friend. Because what I seen in October or opening day, September, October, and what I'm seeing now, they should test you every day for drugs. Jesus. Every day, Luka. Because listen, you are dropping 40, 50, 60. Like it's nothing like you're bored, like you're at the playground. But that doesn't mean you guys are going to win. Listen, and I'm speaking to all Lakers fans. This isn't coming from LeBron hate. This isn't because I hate LeBron James and the Lakers. This is just me knowing ball. This is just they don't have – DeAndre Ayton is softer than a cupcake.
He has been one of the most disappointing number 1 picks in recent memory that had at least some expectations.
I've sat here for, 3 years now and said trade Jerry Allen 2 years? If you said, well, would you trade him for DeAndre? Absolutely not. Give me Jared Allen. Jared Allen looks like Wilt Chamberlain compared to DeAndre. All right.
And the thing is, he is literally the Lakers' only other big, like the Jackson Hayes, I guess, but they don't really have another big. That's why they signed Ayton, because they didn't have a big last year. It's why Minnesota crushed him.
And the same thing's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. LeBron's going to go sign with us for a vet minimum. We're going to win a championship, and LeBron's going to retire.
So they are currently 1 game up on the Nuggets for the 3 seed. I personally want Denver to press the Lakers because I want Lakers T-Wolves rematch in the first round, and I want Nuggets Rockets. And why do I say that? Because in the second round, I want Nuggets Spurs. Because my fear is if Denver slides to the 4, we already saw Minnesota can't beat them. That was one of the biggest debates me and Josh had ever on this show. Was a couple years ago when Minnesota went up 2-0 in that series. Josh declared the series over. He said Minnesota will win it in no less than 5 games. And I pushed back. And I said, Denver's not out of it yet. And they fought their way to being up 20 in game 7 of the second round. And then somehow it fell completely apart. So I don't want the Nuggets to see the T-Wolves again because I want the Nuggets to see the Spurs because I want to see Nikola Jokic versus Victor Wembanyama in a playoff series. I don't care if that game starts at midnight. I will come in with eyes drooled over going into work the next morning because I will watch that series from start to finish.
You need to call the Italian WBC team, get that espresso machine in there. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm telling you, Jalen, my biggest fear is the Lakers are going to get the 3. Denver will play Minnesota. They will lose to Minnesota. We'll get the Lakers against the Spurs. The Spurs will annihilate them. Minnesota and OKC could be a good series, or it could be a repeat from a year ago. And I feel like we will get robbed of a potential all-time series between the Nuggets and Spurs. It just feels like the 2 great big men in this league colliding.
Nuggets Spurs would minimum go 6 games.
Yes. Like, And again, I feel like the NBA needs it because the NBA has been buried. And even me and you have talked about this. The NBA has been buried since the NFL season ended in bad press after bad press after bad press. Now there's a story where the NBA Players Association are basically saying the Bucks are purposely not playing Giannis Antetokounmpo. So they are just getting buried in bad PR, bad PR, bad PR. Now people are talking about, SGA, and now the whole SGA is a free-for-all merge and things coming back up. Like, the NBA needs a great playoff.
Oh yeah, we need. Listen, it's the 10-year anniversary of the greatest NBA championship of all time. We need something to match that. Now, hear me out. I know I'm a big ball guy. All right, I will watch any playoff series anytime, but that's me. But if I want to go to my buddy's house who doesn't watch basketball, do you think he wants to watch 33s be thrown up and no defense being played, or would he rather watch? Or would he rather watch Duke and St. John's tomorrow?
Duke and St. John's, 100%. And we didn't get into this. We did not get into this during the March Madness tournament, but I wanted to talk about this. Watching the March Madness tournament, I felt like I was watching two different sports between the NBA and college basketball. I felt college basketball was a much better product.
Hear me on this. You know how big of a ball guy I am. I hardly ever missed a Cavs game. When the tourney was going on, didn't watch a single Cavs game. I swear to you. I couldn't.
I turned on the Pelicans game. I didn't they play Thursday against some other team to Chicago. They blew out Chicago.
I couldn't, Brendan. I couldn't. I couldn't handle not seeing a kid play with a sense of urgency because he's not playing for the money. He's
what's funny? I like to turn on NBA games during March Madness because I like to compare the NBA game to the college game because it's so different.
There's no comparison. The college tournament has been so much better than any playoff I've watched.
That's what I mean, though. The comparison between let's shoot 53s versus, I think, wasn't there a college tournament game that there was like 6 free shot combined?
Yeah, and here's the thing. You could say, well, what about the kid who only shot threes all year and then made the layup to win the tournament? That's all he does. He's a sharpshooter, but that doesn't mean you give him the ball 50 times. Like, I've seen that argument. Well, what team was it? Damn. Who was that made the layup?
Are you talking about St. John's when they beat Kansas?
Yeah, the kid only made the layup. He hasn't shot inside all year.
Yes.
He's not your main source of offense. These 3-point shooters are your main source of offense in the NBA.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Because I've seen people say that. I've got a buddy who doesn't watch March Madness. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand the hype. You don't watch college basketball all year, and then you fill out a bracket and you sit there for 3 weeks.
I think I've told this story to you. Maybe not. I have no problem telling it on the air. My dad used to have a friend who literally did not watch basketball, no kind, not the NBA, not college, not nothing. He would sit there for 4 days during the initial, from 64 down to 16, when it was still 64 back in the day and not 68, and sit there and go to the freaking racetrack and bet on basketball that he didn't know anything about because he found it so fascinating that these random ass schools would be competing with your Dukes and your Kansases.
That is the most beautiful story I've ever heard, and that lights a fire under me to just do it all over. I'm gonna do what you do. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch March Madness, and when it's halftime, I'm gonna flip to the guards and listen. That was beautiful, and that's what it should be. That's what it should be, man. It shouldn't be a guaranteed Duke like it is.
Yes, and that's the point where it's better for this round of the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. I would argue it's better that we have Duke and Arizona and Michigan still in it, and that we don't have Siena and Wright State and all these other teams. But you know what is the beautiful part of it? They had a freaking shot. Where here's the other thing that people don't talk about. even in the NBA playoffs, I know the Heat went on that miracle run a couple years ago. The 8 seed rarely has a shot. The 7 seed rarely has a shot. I mean, Jalen, I think you know this. There's only been one team in the history of the NBA that won the championship that was not a top 4 seed.
Wasn't it a 5 seed?
No, it was the 6 seed. It was the Rockets in 95 who went back-to-back because the team came back from injury. Very similar, actually, to Jason Tatum, if you think about it that way, if the Celtics were to pull it off this year.
Listen, I'm gonna repeat myself for the idiots on Instagram that are gonna come at my throat for saying this. I need to see a white boy accountant batting 2 threes to put Texas up 6 in the Final Four. Listen, that is not a Cinderella like you guys want it. That is not. You know where the original Cinderella started?
Well, my favorite Cinderella of all time was probably Loyola of Chicago. Actually, NC State, if you want to consider them, a couple years ago with DJ Burns was fun. Butler to me was the original that started it with Brad Stevens.
That's what I was going to say was Butler. Listen, it's not that anymore. But the fact that Vanderbilt, if they win that game, I see them hanging in there with Duke. The fact that, and everyone's saying, "Oh, well, look at what they did."
Actually, Vanderbilt would have played Iowa or Florida because
Nebraska
won.
If you want my honest opinion, I think Vandy upsets Florida.
Yeah, well, Florida obviously lost to Iowa, so we would have no idea because it would have been Iowa against Vanderbilt instead of Nebraska.
Yeah, and listen, I think either way, whoever it is, Vanderbilt's hanging in there. Why not? They showed it through the first 2 rounds.
Vanderbilt used to be a forgotten school, and now they're good in football and basketball. I mean, I think NIL has done. There's a lot of bad about it for college sports, and I don't want to get into that, but there is some good, and this is part of that good, where Vanderbilt now can compete in the SEC. Nebraska can compete in the Big Ten. USC football, they're not great, but they can compete in the Big Ten.
I want to bring this up, and then we can get right back on track. To the idiots that keep telling me, well, look at Miami of Ohio. They gave them a spot, and they got blown up by 60. It doesn't matter.
Miami of Ohio, I argue they shouldn't even have been in the Florida. They should have just been in the tournament.
Oh, yeah, for sure. When you win 30-some games, I don't care if it's professional,
the joke was Akron. Take it from me, Jalen, as a Kent State University alumni. This is what Akron does every year. They pull off another miracle in the MAC tournament because they beat Kent State at the buzzer, those freaking bastards. And then they go on and they beat Toledo, who had them dead to rights in the MAC tournament. And Akron could be my Cinderella. Get the hell out of here.
This is just a salty Flash, former Flash coming, but it's okay.
Flash. You know why? Because we lose to Akron in the MAC tournament in almost the second round. Or a couple years ago, do you remember when Kent State forgot the clock? And Akron just threw it out in the MAC championship game.
Weren't you in class?
No. This was just a couple years ago. This is 2 years ago. I've been out of school now for 5 years.
Okay, yeah, I remember now.
They literally J.R. Smith the score, or we would have went to the freaking NCAA tournament.
Former Flash, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Lewis, graduate, very smart human, and now he rants on the internet and writes for paratransit. So listen, if you want to go be a Flash. Listen, it's all funny until you guys play Akron.
From the Flashes to the hawk of a Baltimore Raven, because this to me came out of left field. This shocked me. How are the Baltimore Ravens have an over-under of not only 11.5, Jalen, do you know that 11.5 is the highest of any NFL team? The Ravens.
Well, can't even say that. Can't even say it's because Max Crosby. Because guess what? They got cold feet. They got cold feet like a man in his first marriage at the wedding. Cold feet. Didn't walk down there. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, folks. Lamar Jackson's a little overrated. Yeah, I don't understand this one. I don't understand this.
So not only that, but they lost their best offensive lineman, Tyler Winterbaum, who I think is probably the get of free agency by the Las Vegas Raiders. And
they have no line. They have no line. They have
a rookie head coach who I like in Jesse Miller, but I don't know for sure if he's going to work as a head coach. By the way, in their division, I'm sorry, I don't care. You can say it all you want. Oh, every year Joe Burrow gets hurt. That may be true, but guess what? As long as Joe Burrow's starting week 1, I will pick the Cincinnati Bengals every year to win the AFC North, and I'll be wrong to the end of time because I can't get it out of my head. Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in that division, and by Thanksgiving, Lamar Jackson's going to end up being sick, and his hamstrings will probably be hurt like it is every single freaking year of his career.
Listen, you can't give these guys the highest odds when every single year they lose to Cleveland at least once.
And by the way, they have higher odds than Seattle, the Rams. Like, what? Do we just think the Steelers are going to all of a sudden stink? Do we think the Bengals are just not?
Yes.
I mean, I'll say this. It depends on who is Pittsburgh's quarterback. Is it going to be Will Howard or is it going to be Mr. Ayahuasca?
It should be Will Howard, but it will be ayahuasca.
Well, if it's ayahuasca, they're probably winning 8 games. I mean, let's be real.
Can I speak to the Steelers fans for a second here?
Go ahead.
Hi, Jalen Sandvick here. Browns fan for life. Lions fan for life. Been through a lot of heartbreak in my life. Women can't break my heart anymore. Why? Because I'm a Browns and Lions fan. That's why. Listen, get your tissues ready. Get ready to cry at night.
Oh
Get ready to call for the firing of your head coach 4 weeks into the season. Get ready to call for.
You sound like that's what the Browns are going to do because that's what I think is going to happen this year to the Browns. I'm being totally honest.
Hey! Give Todd at least a week. Come on now. At least
a week. By the way, I'm not even giving him a preseason game if I see a certain number 4 go out there and start.
Let him play. Let him play. I can't say that on the air. I was going to say I'll give him free massages for a year. Let him play. Why not? What happened? What do we got to lose?
Why every time you come on any show, we go completely off the rails?
Because that's who I am, Brandon, and that's who you became friends with 10 years ago.
I have to promote you as the cast of the show. Anytime you want a show to go off the rails, just invite Jalen Sandvick on the show. But the Ravens are at 11.5. To me, your Lions are winning 11, 12 games. I think the Bears are winning 10, 11 games, probably. I think Green Bay.
The Bears are probably going to win that division if you want me to be frank with you.
But very positive. There are so many teams. I think Buffalo is going to win 10, 11 games like they always do. I personally think Kansas City is going to be back in that 9-10 win category. Chargers, I think, are going to be really good. So maybe that is what the thinking is. It's like, these teams are going to all beat up on each other. But every year, even like the NFC West, San Francisco went 10-7. Seattle was still, 14-3?
I think so.
Every year we have a team that wins 12, 13, 14 games. 11.5 being the top to me is Luda.
No, this is whoever's putting this together must be doing the finest drugs. And let me know where you're getting these drugs from because we need to get these off the streets immediately. Because 11.5, listen, even your Eagles
should win 10 games.
Absolutely. Listen, I hate Jalen Hurts, but gotta respect him. Gotta respect him. Can't hate him.
Jalen, here are the numbers. Ravens are at 11.5. Seahawks 10.5. How are the Ravens above C? What? And by the way, can I see the Ravens schedule real quick? Ravens schedule, because I know it hasn't come out yet, but the opponents have come out. So 26, the Ravens schedule. Okay, here it is. Give me 1 second. Okay, you ready? Here's who they have at home. At home, they have Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. Let's say they win the 3 home games, they lose the 3 road games. Let's just call it that they split in their division and go 3-3. Their other home games, Jacksonville, that's tough, but maybe at home, maybe at home they can win. Titans, I think, are going to be a lot better than people think, but I don't know, probably a win. Okay, Saints going to Baltimore, tough. Okay, maybe, but I think the Saints are going to be better than most people think. Tampa, I think, will be an easier game than people think because I don't think Tampa's going to be good this year. And then you got the Chargers, which I think is a tough matchup for them. Away, they have Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Okay. Atlanta on the road in Atlanta. That's interesting. Kevin Stefanski playing Baltimore again. Houston, who I think that defensive line is going to be really good. Buffalo, who I think is going to be hard for them. Carolina, who may be very good and a tough matchup for them because they have tall receivers. And then Dallas, who always puts together a good offense. I mean, I can see it. I get it because it's not the hardest schedule in the world, but they're going to lose 5 games on this. What's minimum?
Oh, yeah. And, listen, you could throw a bad team in there. Every team loses to every good team, solid team loses to a bad team.
Yep.
So, the Browns.
You always win one game you're not supposed to, and you always lose one game you are supposed to.
Look at Green Bay last year. Green Bay lost to us. That was the one game they weren't supposed to lose.
Yes.
Now,
all right.
Now,
go ahead.
Go. I'm just going to make this clear. And being a Ravens fan might be worse than being a Browns fan. Okay? Hear me out for a second. Before you think I'm batshit crazy, which I am, going to the expectation of winning the division, not winning the division, getting bounced in the first round every single year is worse than losing because you already know you're going to suck if you're a Browns fan. These Raven fans are delusional. They think they're going to win every year.
No, see, I would argue the worst fans in the NFL, the 2 fans that have gone through it the most the last few years have been your Lions and the Bills, more than Baltimore. I think Buffalo's kryptonite is literally been just Patrick Mahomes. That's it. It's not even the Chiefs. It's just they can't get a stop against Mahomes.
That's true.
And Detroit's kryptonite has been, oh my God, we could be a Super Bowl contender, but wait, oh my God, wait, Aiden Hutchinson's hurt. This guy's hurt. Oh my God, we have no defense. Oh my God, we give up 45 points to Jaden Daniels in a playoff game. And then the next year.
All right. You're making me want to get the alcohol out. Stop it.
All right, let's move on then. So this is an interesting idea that was floated out there by one Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk about that the NFL, obviously, there has been talk about the fact that, eventually we're going to get to 18 games and down to 2 preseason games. But there's a theory out there that they could go to an 18-game schedule, except for you limit literally every single player on the roster to playing a maximum of 17 games. To me, I think this would have huge wrong ramifications for fantasy, for betting, for all of it. It sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, especially nowadays where betting is so prominent, everybody bets. 7-year-old grandpa bets. All right.
I have
Betting-
5 bets going tonight between March Madness and NBA action.
Oh boy. Wait. Are your bets are Brandon's best bets on your YouTube channel? Can I look at these?
No, because I only do them for football season. The other bets are my own bets. Put it that way.
Your own bets. Oh boy. Yeah, but everybody bets. Now, if you're going to limit somebody, that just screws it changes the whole dynamic of betting for one. Somebody's not.
By the way, I'll tell you one thing it does do, and this may be a positive or a negative. It really will make the backup quarterback position so valuable because you know you're going to have to play one game a season.
Yeah, and that to me sounds very interesting. Like, can you imagine if Dylan Gabriel has to go in there and he has to play, or for a better example, a good team. Let's do a good team. Like, give me a good team, Brandon. Throw a good team out there.
Well, like let's say Detroit. Let's say you guys are fighting for a playoff spot, right? You guys are fighting with Chicago for that last divisional spot, and you haven't rested Jared Goff yet. I don't know. Is Hayden Hooker still your backup there in Detroit, or who's the backup?
I think I might be stupid, but I think it's Teddy Bridgewater.
Well, nonetheless, whoever the backup is, they would have to come in and play that 17th game. Or do you do this? If you're the Lions and you're playing the Jets that week in like week 6 and you have a bye maybe coming up in week 7, do you play most of your backups against the Jets and try to win with backups and try to give your guys an extra week off? There is strategy to that. It feels
there is definitely strategy, but think about this though. If you're just always a bad team, could you realistically, like if you wanted to tank, could you just play your backups all year pretty much?
Well, the other thing is this. If you're a bad team, what if every team plays their backups against you? And then you actually start winning games because you're not getting everybody's best shot.
That's a good point, because then you could prevent tanking for bad teams in that way.
Which, by the way, I think the idea of preventing tanking is bullshit. Let every team run the franchise the way they see fit. It's not the NFL's fault. The Jets can't figure out how to draft. It's the Jets' fault. It's not the NFL's fault that the Browns have a general manager who can't draft a wide receiver. It's their fault.
Yeah. Listen.
So that's my thing. The Jets and the Browns and the Wizards and the A's and all these bad franchises. It's not the league's fault they're bad. It's ownership. Most of the time, it's ownership. If you have bottom line, if you have bad ownership, you're going to be a bad franchise. The exception to the rule was Cincinnati once they got Burrow, because I said, I know Joe Burrow's a great quarterback. The team had no practice facility. The ownership's bad. The offensive line, he's getting literally killed out there, and he got them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he did, and he did it in convincing fashion too.
And Josh has argued on this show that that was actually bad for them because it gave them false hope. And I said, there is no false hope when you have Joe Burrow. Yes, he's gotten hurt. That doesn't mean, by the way, I made an argument they should have won that Super Bowl. I thought they got screwed in a couple of defensive penalties. I thought they were in position to win that game.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, my thing is in the NFL, it's about the quarterback. And you know this as a Lions fan and a Browns fan, and I know this as an Eagles fan. You either have a quarterback or you don't. And I have said this now for years. I think the NFL, and this year was a weird year. I acknowledge it. It was a defensive year. defensive coaches. I had missed more on bets this year than I have in previous years. But I still think the NFL has become easier to predict in the macro term because if you have a quarterback, you're going to win games. If you don't, you're not going to win games. The Jets are going to win maybe 3 games next year because they have no plan at quarterback.
Literally zero plan though. Like it's not like
But here's the thing. We know I had this conversation with Voltage Live colleague, friend of the show, Sean Fitzgerald, the other day. He and I sort of went back and forth. Sean has said that he feels like that NFL quarterback play has regressed and that more teams need quarterbacks. My argument is I actually feel like no, the top of the NFL is a lot better because the top quarterbacks are better. The problem is we have a lot of Tuas, Michael Penixes, Shadors, JJ McCarthy's.
Whoa. Hey. We're not putting Shador in that list yet. Give him a year.
Give him a year. Jay, listen to what I said. We have a lot of guys like Shador who I don't want to give up on. I want to give another year. But the NFL is becoming too impatient.
But you just threw Tua in there. You're telling me you don't want to give up on Tua?
Listen, do I think Tua is a bad quarterback? No, I don't. That's the problem. I don't think he's bad.
I think he's god awful. I think he's got the guts and he's a leader, but he can't play.
See, I watched what he did with Mike McDaniel in Miami. You can't tell me he can't play at all. He can win you games. He may not be able to take it.
When you almost have more head trauma than okay, that's bad. When you almost have more head trauma than the guy that does the flying headbutt.
Okay. He did get the Dolphins to the playoffs twice.
Who they play? They play the Jets twice a year.
Is that their problem, though?
Put them in our division. We'd smoke them, too.
You play who's on your schedule. I mean, New England for years got... How many breaks do you think Tom Brady got that he got to face the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins 6 times a year? A lot. Well,
that's why he was always so well rested for the playoffs because he never had to play.
That's my point. He got breaks. Every great player or team that becomes a dynasty, Jalen, gets breaks. Even the Cavs in 2016, we got a break. We did.
What break?
Draymond got suspended. I'm not.
No. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Listen.
He played in Game 7.
He did. But him getting suspended in Game 5 changed the momentum of that series.
Brandon. He played in Game. No. We're not doing this today. I'm here to be nice, Jalen, on championship ring. I'm not here to get fired up. It's late. I'm not. Listen, he played in Game 7, and he hit like 4-3. He had like 25.
No, he did, and I acknowledge that. But you know what? Momentum, you and I both know, momentum is a real thing in sports.
Oh, Jesus, Brandon.
Listen, if he plays in Game 5 and we win, I'm not saying it's not possible. What I am saying is it was an easier path.
Okay, fine. I'll let you have it. I'll let you.
That's my argument. That's the argument. I'm not saying that we wouldn't have not wanted Draymond was in there because we very well could have, and we maybe even blew him out more. But on paper, it is a break that your third best scorer got suspended for a game and derailed all that team's momentum after they had already won a game and gone up 3-1.
Are we calling it a break that Curry got ejected in Game 6? Is that what we're saying?
I think it helped the Cavs. I absolutely do.
So now we're just saying that Cleveland just had a bunch of breaks. This is
no, but what's a championship? It is 90% skill and 10% luck. Do I think the Thunder win the championship if Tyrese Haliburton doesn't get hurt? Yes. But do I think they caught a break in Game 7? You better believe I do.
Well, I don't think they win if Tyrese goes down.
That's a break. They got a break and they took advantage of it. Do I think the Cubs? Do I think the Cubs got the biggest break of all time when there was a magical rain delay in Game 7? Yes, I do.
Oh, absolutely. And as a Cleveland fan, I would die on that hill. But don't sit here and tell me that my Cavaliers couldn't beat them with Draymond when the very next game, Draymond played game. He got suspended in Game 5, didn't he? He played Game 6 and 7.
I also think the Cavs got a. Well, here's the part that I do think the Cavs got a break on. The East was weak.
Well, you could say that for LeBron's whole legacy then.
Again, he got a break. He took advantage of it, just like Tom Brady did.
LeBron has literally played no one. Okay, I'm not doing this right now. I'm not going to that rabbit hole.
Jalen, should we dive into the world of professional wrestling? Because I'm getting excited for this main event of WrestleMania between your guy, who I'm going to call him the way Roman Reigns does, Phil, because he can't acknowledge him. I see a buck anymore. He has to call him Phil. It's going to be Phil Brooks versus Joe at Hawaii, or as CM Punk would say, Joe to the Tutu, or whatever name, because he can't say Samoa Joe because he has so much respect for Samoa Joe.
Because there's another Simone that he loves very much.
So this segment we got this past week on Raw, the way they are weaving in the Usos in and out of the story is cinema. This feels like 2020, 2021, 2022 Roman Reigns peak Bloodline cinema. I mean, there's a world where the Usos turn heel and they help Roman win. There's a world where the Usos align with CM Punk and they screw over Roman Reigns, though I don't want to see that because I feel like we've done that road many times. But there are so many possibilities here as we go into this WrestleMania match. The Usos are facing Logan Paul and Austin Theory in a street fight, which we thought was going to be the WrestleMania match. Well, now I'm thinking the Usos are going to lose those titles on Monday.
Yeah, listen, Marks, I'm joking when I say this. Can we get Tom Brady versus Logan Paul, please? Please, Tom, since you want to sit there and talk all your shit about professional wrestling.
Here's the problem with that. They're going to boo both guys. You can't have Tom Brady as a babyface.
No, but I feel like if you are in the realm of social media, you wouldn't boo. You would not boo.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very weird dynamic. We do know Brady is the minority owner of the Raiders, and I don't know.
But anyway, back to the matter here. Listen, personal is personal. He's Chicago made, man. Listen, I get it. Tribal Chief, throw up the ones. I acknowledge him, Brandon. You're right. But Pepsi Phil, man, did something for every kid like me who liked tattoos and liked crazy hair, and he gave us an outlet. So I'm always rocking with Mr. Chicago made himself. And what he said about Roman it's the truth. He's gonna bury him next to his father. And that's that.
I know you have been way more pro AEW than WWE these days. But I gotta say, WrestleMania card shaping out to be pretty good. After it was heavily criticized.
Listen. I'm not saying I hate you. Listen, I'll always be a WWE kid at heart. Somewhere deep down in me, there will always be. I'm not saying I'm boycotting Mania. I'm not saying I'm not going to watch Mania, and I'm not enjoying 09 Randy Orton again. I'm not saying that. Listen, they're giving me something to watch. They're giving me promo battles. They're giving me 09 Psycho Randy Orton that's beating the hell out of everybody.
Who's on the phone with Randy?
I've heard a lot of names, but like, you know who makes sense? The Rock.
Really?
The Rock. I've heard people joke and say Ted DiBiase Jr., which is pretty funny.
I love it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it might be Arn Anderson. I really want it to be Cowboy Bob Orton.
Cowboy Bob also makes a lot of sense.
I mean, it'd be awesome. There's no shot in hell.
What if they're just fucking with all of us? It's Danhausen.
You know, I gotta say, I was very
He grows on you.
I was very, very critical of Danhausen coming out of the box. I still think it was a bad idea to have him come out of a box, but I gotta give credit to Danhausen. He's gotten himself over with that audience like that.
Because he's Danhausen. And if you don't like Danhausen, you're cursed.
That's why cursed.
That's why Johnny Gargano.
I think Danhausen. I think it'd be really cool if at the Hall of Fame ceremony, the night's over. I think Stephanie McMahon's going to be the last induction. Stephanie goes off, the credits roll, and you just have Danhausen come up to a mic being like, "Where's my introduction?"
That'd be awesome. And you were who the hell is it? Listen, guys. Listen, I have the screenshots. Who is Danhausen? Never heard of him. Who is this guy?
Who is it? Again, he gets that's the thing about the WWE audience. When they like someone, a superstar can get over very quickly.
You know what? You know what makes me really sad to think about? And I'm gonna get soft here for a second. How phenomenal the storyline would have been with him and Bray Wyatt.
Oh, Jalen. Oh, you're ripping my guts out, man.
Absolutely. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Danhausen being in a serious role? Or not so much serious, but we know how The Fiend was. The Fiend was a serious guy. Can you imagine Danhausen's goal is trying to break Bray Wyatt? Can you imagine that? That to me, when I first saw Dan in AEW, when he popped out, well, I've watched Dan all over the independents as well.
My understanding was he was only in AEW for a little bit, and then Tony Khan basically got cold feet and sent him home for 2 years.
Pretty much. And then he worked a lot around here. He worked with a family friend of mine for his wrestling company, and I've shaken hands with him, and he's a very behind all the makeup. I've never seen him without makeup, but behind all the makeup, he's very how do I say it? Like smart.
Here's my worry for the WWE audience. It's not going to transition in the ring.
That's fair. But listen, give him a chance. I thank all of you who gave him a chance, who I talked to, who gave him a legit chance, who's never seen this guy before.
Hey, I gave him a chance post-box. I'm just saying, to debut him out of a box in that environment was just the wrong idea.
That's fair. But yeah, I'm enjoying WWE. I'll be the first to say it. All right, I'm enjoying it right now. You win.
Ago, wait. I have to say this though. 2 weeks ago, maybe it was 3. I'm getting a little fuzzy with my dates here.
2 weeks ago, you're right.
You and Josh came out here and eviscerated me over everything WWE.
Oh, we did. And listen, the second they start slipping, I'll do it again. I'm not. This isn't going away, Brandon. It's not going away. They do this every year around this time of year. Around April.
I feel like your wrestling attention span is like 1 second. Where like it's funny. It's like you enjoy both companies, but it's like you can't. It's like one company's always better than the other at a certain time period. Like they're never equal.
Yeah, but I've never called AEW bad. I've never been like all this.
I can go back from 2023 and 2024. Yes, you were. You on this show, one of your first appearances was I don't watch AEW. AEW is trash right now.
Okay, but that's
I think that was during the period where like Punk had just came back and then he got fired again and then he left and came back to WWE.
Well, listen, I was salty. They fired my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah, but you just said I never called them bad when you did.
Okay, I've never realistically thought they were bad. I thought they were bad because I was a salty boy because they fired my GOAT. Is that a better way to put it for you?
Okay, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. But listen, they're providing they do this to me every year. Every single year, right around Mania, I get a little tap on my shoulder, and it's you know who it is? It's not even Triple H. It's Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and he says, "Come on back, kid. Come on back."
Oh, Vince. Oh man, Vince. But I mean, yeah, just getting back to the topic at hand. I'm very intrigued in this Bloodline story. They got me hooked again. I don't know who's going to win between Roman and Punk, if you ask me right now. I know a lot of people out there think CM Punk is going to retain because people don't want to see Roman as champion again. I vehemently disagree. I still think the direction they should have went down is Cody Roman 3, with Roman as the babyface and Cody as the heel.
Yeah, but you can't turn Cody heel. I don't care who cheers him. He's not meant to be.
I know, and Cody, and see, here's the thing, and I still believe this. I don't think Randy Orton is necessarily a heel either. I think we're in this space right now in wrestling where we don't have defined baby faces and we don't have defined heels. We
cheer for who we cheer for. That's it. There's no more heels anymore. Listen, MJF can call my mother fat and I will still cheer every word that man says. No disrespect to my mother, but you get the point. It's who you like. If you like the cocky, brash, you like MJF. If you like the QB1, John Cena-esque, you're a Cody fan. If you like to murder everything to get to my goal, I don't care who you are, what your name is, you're a Randy Orton fan. Like, you get what I mean?
I think there is one true heel in the business right now.
Is his name MJF?
No. Because I think MJF still gets cheered somewhat.
Well, his name's Gunther. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, his name is Gunther. I think he's the one true heel in the wrestling business right now. I would say Brock, but it almost feels like Brock is getting booed for a different reason that I don't want to get into.
That we probably should not get into because this is a children's show, even though I've swore 40 times on the air today. But this is a family show, guys, I swear.
I mean, I don't know. I think wrestling is in a very interesting place right now. I do want to ask you. I meant to put this on the rundown, so I ask you this before we go for tonight.
Yeah.
Did you see that report in 2023? Which, by the way, I don't know if you know about this. There's a lawsuit going on right now because allegedly the whole WWE TKO sale was basically a scam, and Vince had already agreed to sell to Ari Emanuel like before he even came back to the board of directors. So there's that whole thing going on.
But isn't Ari? Is that the guy that covers the MMA or something?
No, that is Ari Hawaii who got into that quarrel, if you will, with Tony Khan. This is the guy.
Oh, yeah, right. That's right.
This is the guy who basically formed UFC and WWE into TKO.
Right.
And so there is a report out there that in 2023, Tony Khan put in a $7 billion bid to buy WWE. It's out there. It's on record, by the way. I mean, could you imagine if Tony Khan bought WWE? First of all, I would say this up front. First of all, CM Punk would have never came back. I'll tell you that right now. I don't think he would ever came back. I don't know if Randy Orton ever comes back. I
With
don't know if
Brandon
we get
Lewis.
John Cena's retirement if Tony Khan buys WWE.
Stop that.
I don't know. I think there are
Well,
some
listen,
very.
that was the worst retirement run I've ever seen.
Oh, come on,
So
Jalen. Come on.
nope. Don't do this to me. Don't start with me.
You
Don't.
didn't enjoy any bit of Cena's retirement run.
I enjoyed one part of it. You ready? And I think you know what I'm gonna say. AJ Styles.
That's fair. I mean, I enjoyed all of it. I enjoyed heel Cena.
Heel Cena was a joke. Travis Scott was there and gone in 5 seconds. The Rock never.
Here's the thing. I think if The Rock shows up at WrestleMania, everybody feels differently.
Listen, it was a joke. The whole thing just felt like you're just pissing on a legacy. That's what I felt. And I know Cena booked it and this, that, and the third. But Triple H, you're the booker. You know what's going on. Yes, let Cena do what he does, but modify it so it looks better. Please.
Well, he wrestled like chicken shit on purpose because that was his character.
No, I don't even care about that. Like, he could be the Great Khali. He could be as stiff as the Great Khali was in the ring. Okay. What I'm saying, I do too. Listen, we grew up in 2010s wrestling. All right, I started watching in 2011 or
I started
2011.
watching in 07, way before you, and the Great Khali was crushing Rey Mysterio's skull, and I was afraid, and I had to hide under the covers.
There you go, and he was a world champion. See what I mean?
And
booking.
The internet has ruined wrestling. The IWC thinks they're smarter than everybody.
Don't say the internet has ruined wrestling. You are the internet. You are the wrestling fan on the internet.
Yeah, I'm the sane wrestling fan of the internet. I'm
No.
not one of these keyboard warriors that go on there and say, WWE is bad. AEW is bad. No, I just go on the internet to tweet Dave Meltzer until he blocks me.
Listen, I've been Instagramming Dave. I keep saying tweeting. I've been Instagramming Dave Meltzer since I've been 15. You are the only one that can get him blocked, and I'm very proud of you for that.
By the way, let's talk about this real quick. Did you see? Did you see Dave's star ratings for AEW Revolution? It was a good show. Okay, I saw highlights. I'm not saying it was a bad show, but did you see what Dave said about that show?
Yeah.
Dave literally said it was the greatest show in the history of the United States.
Listen.
He gave 4 matches on that show, Jalen, over 5 stars.
Listen, Brandon, listen. It is so hard to like AEW knowing that I have Dave Meltzer on my side. I have a comparison, but I'm not going to make it on the air. I'll make it off the air for you. But it is so hard to watch that show knowing that Uncle Dave is sitting at his television drooling on a Wednesday night.
Did he say that, like, Dynamite, which I read on the internet, the Dynamite following Revolution was not good. I think Dave said Dave said it was the greatest card he's ever seen.
Oh, Jesus, Dave. Oh, boy. Oh, God.
Our friend Dave. You know what's funny? I love listening to Dave because half the time, what the hell did you just say? He gave, who was it? It was FTR versus the Young Bucks to kick off AEW Revolution, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, Jalen. You know how his star ratings go up to 5, right?
Yeah.
He gave that match a 5.5 stars.
Do you understand that Shawn Michaels doesn't have a 5-star Dave Meltzer match?
That's what I'm saying. Jalen, he said that match was the greatest match he's ever seen ever take place in the United States.
And he's been doing this since, what, 1945 probably? Because he's about 70 years old.
AEW has had more 5-star matches in the last 3 years than WWE has ever had. Ever in their history. I'm talking about, do you know Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker is like one of only 2 matches in Dave Meltzer's record that ever got a 5-star match in WWE? Ever. I think
so Shawn has 1. Shawn has 1.
I don't even know, was that 5 or was it 4.5? I'd have to look that up.
4.5. It might have been 4.5. It might have been 4.5. Oh, Dave.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like,
Dave, you're the reason that we have to put people in loony bins, and I hope you know that. If you're somehow listening, because of course you would. He would.
He would listen because he's on Twitter all day long.
No, Brandon. He would be the type to block the kid in the walker. He would be. He would be.
Dave. All right.
He did something.
We've gone way off the rails. We got to wrap this up. The NCAA tournament is starting, so let's go watch some college basketball. Jalen, thank you for joining me tonight on Championship Rings. Next Thursday,
yes, sir.
Sean Fitzgerald will be filling in for Josh Ungar. Until then, you guys all have a great week. And we'll be back. Josh will be back in a couple of weeks. Always great to have Jalen joining me. And peace.